Welcome to SpeakFlow English, the podcast where we help you learn English naturally through real conversations, practical advice, and tons of encouragement. I'm Anna.
And I'm Mark. Anna, can I tell you something embarrassing that happened to me last week?
Oh no, what happened?
So I was watching an English movie, a comedy that everyone said was hilarious. And I turned on the subtitles because I wanted to understand every joke, right?
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
Well, with the subtitles, I understood everything perfectly. I was laughing, enjoying it, feeling like my English was pretty good. Then my friend came over and said, "Why do you have subtitles on? Just turn them off."
Uh-oh, I can see where this is going.
So I turned off the subtitles, and suddenly I understood almost nothing. The actors were speaking so fast, words were blending together, and I was completely lost. It was like they switched to a different language.
Mark, that is such a common experience. And actually, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Why you can understand English when it's slow and clear, but struggle when it's at native speed.
Yes, because honestly, it's so frustrating. I know the words, I understand the grammar, but when people speak quickly, my brain just can't keep up.
I totally understand. And the good news is there are specific strategies to train your ear and improve your listening comprehension at any speed. That's what today's episode is all about.
Perfect. But before we dive in, let's give a huge thank you to all of you listening right now. Whether you're exercising, commuting, cooking, or just chilling, we appreciate you.
Yes, and if you're new to SpeakFlow English, welcome. We're building a global community of English learners who support each other and grow together. We release new episodes every week with practical tips you can use immediately.
And we need your help. If you're enjoying this podcast, please subscribe to SpeakFlow English right now. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and it helps us reach more learners around the world.
Absolutely. And please like this episode, share it with your friends who are learning English, and leave us a comment. Tell us where you're listening from, what your biggest listening challenge is, or what topics you'd like us to cover.
We read every single comment, and they truly make our day. Your feedback helps us create better content for you.
Okay, Mark, are you ready to help our listeners crack the code of fast English listening?
I'm so ready. Let's do this.
So today's big question is, why can you understand English when it's slow and clear, but struggle when people speak at native speed?
And this is something almost every English learner experiences. You can understand your teacher perfectly, you can follow educational videos, but then you watch a TV show or talk to a native speaker, and suddenly it's like everyone's speaking too fast.
Exactly. And here's what's happening. When people speak slowly and clearly, like teachers or podcasters, they're pronouncing each word carefully. There's space between words. Everything is neat and separate.
Right, so if I say slowly, I am going to the store, you can catch every word easily.
Yes, but in real life, native speakers use something called connected speech. Words blend together, sounds change, and some sounds even disappear. So the same sentence becomes, I'm gonna go to store.
Whoa, that's completely different. No wonder it's hard to understand.
Exactly. And here's the main idea of today's episode. Understanding fast English isn't about knowing more words. It's about training your ear to recognize how English really sounds in natural conversation. And anyone can develop this skill with the right practice.
I love that. Because a lot of learners think, I just need to learn more vocabulary, or my English isn't good enough yet. But that's not the problem.
Right. The problem is that you've been training your ear on slow, clear English, but real conversations don't sound like that. So we need to tune your ear to real, natural English.
So let's break down exactly how to do this. Let's give our listeners a clear roadmap.
Okay, so let's start by understanding what makes fast English so challenging. Mark, what do you think is the biggest difficulty?
Well, from my experience, the biggest problem is that I can't identify where one word ends and another begins. Everything just sounds like one long stream of sound.
That's exactly it. And that's because of connected speech. In natural English, words flow together. For example, what are you doing becomes what you doing.
Wow, that's so different from the written form.
Yes. So, technique number one for improving your listening is stop trying to catch every word. Instead, focus on understanding the gist, the main idea.
Okay, so I don't need to understand every single word. That's actually a relief.
Exactly. Even native speakers don't catch every word in every conversation, but they understand the gist by using context clues, hints from the situation, body language, and the topic being discussed.
So context clues are like detective hints that help you figure out meaning even if you miss some words.
Perfect way to describe it. And technique number two, listen to the same content multiple times. Don't just listen once and give up. Listen again and again, and you'll notice you understand more each time.
Oh, I've experienced this. The first time I listen to something, maybe I understand 30%, but the third or fourth time, I'm catching 70 or 80%.
Exactly. Your brain needs repetition to recognize patterns and sounds. And technique number three, use subtitles strategically. Start with subtitles in English, not your native language, so you can connect the sounds to the written words.
And then eventually turn the subtitles off once you're more familiar with the content?
Yes, subtitles are training wheels. They help you learn, but eventually you need to ride without them.
I like that analogy. Okay, technique number 4, slow down the speed. A lot of apps and platforms let you play videos at 0.75x speed. Use this when you're starting out.
Great tip. You're not cheating, you're training your ear step by step. And technique number 5, focus on chunks of language instead of individual words.
What do you mean by chunks of language?
A chunk is a group of words that naturally go together. For example, how are you? I'm gonna. Let me know. What do you think? These phrases are said so often that they become one sound unit.
So instead of hearing how are you, native speakers hear it as one chunk. How are ya?
Exactly. When you train your ear to recognize common chunks, listening becomes much easier. And technique number 6, practice with different accents and voices. Don't just listen to one person or one type of English.
That's important because American English sounds different from British English, Australian English, or Indian English.
Yes, the more variety you expose yourself to, the more adaptable your ear becomes. And technique number 7, listen with active listening, not passive listening.
What's the difference?
Active listening means you're fully focused and engaged. You're trying to understand, predict what comes next, and notice patterns. Passive listening is when it's just background noise while you're doing something else.
So both types are useful, but active listening is where the real learning happens.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about mindset shifts, because I think a lot of learners get discouraged and think they'll never understand fast English.
Oh, definitely. I used to think native speakers just talk too fast. It's impossible.
So instead of thinking they speak too fast, try saying, my ear is still learning to recognize natural speech patterns. I'm getting better every day.
Love that. Or instead of, I'll never understand fast English, say, understanding native speed is a skill I'm developing through practice.
Yes, and instead of, I need to understand every word, say, I can understand the gist and use context clues to figure out the rest.
Perfect. And instead of, I'm bad at listening, say, I'm training my ear and every minute of practice makes me stronger.
These mindset shifts are so important. They change your brain from feeling helpless to feeling empowered.
Exactly. Now let's talk about the benefits of improving your listening comprehension at native speed.
Great idea. Benefit number 1. You'll enjoy English media so much more. Movies, TV shows, podcasts, YouTube videos, they'll all become accessible and fun.
Benefit number 2, you'll feel more confident in real conversations. When someone speaks to you, you won't panic. You'll actually understand them.
Benefit number 3, your speaking will improve too. When you hear how native speakers use connected speech and chunks of language, you'll start speaking more naturally yourself.
And benefit number 4, you'll stop feeling exhausted after conversations. Right now, listening probably drains your energy because you're working so hard to understand. But when your ear is trained, it becomes effortless.
Yes, understanding becomes automatic instead of exhausting. Now, let's give listeners some practical daily goals.
Perfect. Goal number 1, watch a 5-minute video in English today. It could be a news clip, a vlog, a cooking video, anything you're interested in. Watch it first with English subtitles, then watch it again without subtitles.
Goal number 2, listen to an English song and try to write down the lyrics as you hear them. Then check the actual lyrics online and see how close you got.
Goal number 3, find a short English podcast episode, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and listen to it twice. Notice what you understand better the second time.
And goal number 4, practice one common chunk of language out loud. For example, practice saying, "I'm gonna go," or "What do you think?" until it feels natural.
These goals are manageable and fun. And listeners, remember, you don't have to do all of these every day. Pick one that feels doable and start there.
Exactly. Consistency matters more than intensity. Now let's share some power phrases to keep listeners motivated.
Yes. Here's the first one. My ear is learning to understand native speed. I'm patient with myself.
Beautiful. Here's another. I don't need to catch every word. Understanding the gist is enough.
Perfect. How about every time I listen, I'm tuning my ear to real English. I'm making progress.
Yes. And here's one more. Fast English isn't impossible. It's just unfamiliar. And unfamiliar becomes familiar with practice.
Those are powerful. Now let's talk about fun ways to practice listening, because if it's not enjoyable, people won't stick with it.
Absolutely. So here are some fun ideas. Watch English TV shows or movies that you've already seen in your native language. Since you know the story, you can focus on understanding the English without getting lost.
Cree's idea. Or listen to English audiobooks while reading along. This connects the sounds to the written words and trains your ear.
Yes, or watch YouTube channels that explain things you're passionate about, whether it's fitness, gaming, beauty, cooking, or technology. When you're interested in the topic, listening becomes fun.
Or listen to English news podcasts during your morning routine. They usually speak clearly and cover current events, so you're learning English while staying informed.
Ooh, good one. Or watch stand-up comedy in English. It's entertaining and comedians usually speak naturally. So it's great practice for real-life English.
I love that. And here's a fun challenge. Watch English content with background noise, like conversations in coffee shops or busy restaurants and shows. This trains your ear to focus on the main speaker, even when there's noise around.
That's advanced level training. And here's the beautiful cycle that happens. You practice listening regularly at native speed, which trains your ear to recognize connected speech and chunks of language. Your listening comprehension improves, which makes conversations less stressful. You feel more confident, which motivates you to practice even more.
It's that positive upward spiral, and eventually understanding fast English feels natural instead of impossible.
Exactly. And here's something important. Progress isn't always obvious day by day. But if you compare where you are now to where you were 3 months ago, you'll see massive improvement.
So true. Some days you'll feel like you're getting worse, but that's just because you're challenging yourself with harder content. That's actually a sign of growth.
Yes. If something feels easy, it means you've already mastered it. The struggle means you're learning. Okay, everyone, we're coming to the end of today's episode. Mark, can you summarize the main points for our listeners?
Of course. So today we talked about why slow English feels easy but native speed feels impossible. It's because of connected speech where words blend together. The goal isn't to catch every word, but to understand the gist using context clues. 7 practical techniques. Focus on main ideas, not every word. Listen multiple times. Use English subtitles strategically. Slow down the speed initially. Learn chunks of language. Expose yourself to different accents. And practice active listening. Mindset shifts to stop feeling discouraged and start feeling empowered. Benefits of improving listening: enjoying media, confident conversations, better speaking, less exhaustion. Small daily goals you can start today. Power phrases for motivation, fun ways to practice, familiar movies or shows, audiobooks, YouTube channels about your interests, news podcasts, stand-up comedy. The positive cycle that leads to natural, effortless listening comprehension.
Perfect summary. And here's the most important message. Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone's journey is different. The only question that matters is, can I understand a little bit more than yesterday?
Yes, maybe yesterday you understood 40% of a video and today you understand 50%. That's progress. Celebrate it.
Exactly. Small improvements add up over time to create massive results. Trust the process.
And remember, struggling to understand native speed doesn't mean your English is bad. It just means your ear needs training, and that's completely normal.
Yes, even advanced learners struggle with certain accents or topics. It's all part of the learning process.
So here's a challenge. Today, watch one 5-minute video in English, first with subtitles, then without. Notice what you understand and what you miss. Don't judge yourself, just observe.
Great challenge. And listeners, be kind to yourself. Listening comprehension takes time to develop, but every minute you spend practicing is making your ear stronger.
Okay, before we go, we want to ask for your support. If this episode helped you or gave you new ideas, please subscribe to SpeakFlow English right now. Your subscription means the world to us.
And please share this episode with a friend who's learning English. Maybe you could even watch an English show together and practice your listening skills as a team.
And leave us a comment. Tell us what's your biggest listening challenge, or share what type of English content you love listening to. We'd love to hear from you.
We'll be back next week with another episode full of practical tips, real conversations, and lots of encouragement for your English journey.
Until then, remember, your ear is incredibly adaptable. You can train it to understand native speed. You've got this.
So go ahead, watch, listen, immerse yourself. Every minute of practice is making you stronger.
Keep learning, stay positive, and most importantly, keep listening.
Bye, everyone. Keep flowing with English.
Bye. Remember, fast English is just English you haven't heard enough times yet.